Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are here for Transfer Daily. Every morning, we're here giving you the daily dose of the transfer trophy, and we're here. Man like Miz is here. Debut on the channel from the other side of the coin, the other side of the world, all the way in Australia. How are you?
Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Nah, look, man, I'm buzzing, man. Saeed, when I literally woke up for Fajr prayer, and then I saw the message, and I'm like, wow, this is Saeed. Saeed from Saeed TV just messaged me.
Come on. We're here, man. Big up to you, man.
And I'm like, do you know what? I can't wait for this occasion, man. Big up to you, bro. You're one of my favorite content makers. I'm not even kidding. I watch a lot of your stuff. You're one of my favorites in the Big Six as well. I think you bring unbelievable entertainment. And you know what? I want to put it on the record. You got mad ball knowledge. People don't give you the credit for it. You got mad ball knowledge, all right? Put that on the record right now. You're an entertainer and you know ball. So I love that, bro. Thank you.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, man, big up to Miz, man. He's a Chelsea fan. Yeah, man, he's smashing it at the minute, man. Big up to him. You might have seen him as well on a few Chelsea shows and whatnot. But yeah, man, big Chelsea fan. And we got a lot to discuss, man. We got Madueke, we got Kudus, we got Rodrigo, we got some Gyokores news, which I don't know whether the source is correct or not, because saying that the deal is stalling and it could be off, but we'll definitely
let's pretend the source is correct.
Yeah, let's pretend the source is real, man. You know what I mean? Like, to be fair, not that we're gonna go for him, because right now we're not really doing much in the transfer window. But let's go and pretend that deal is off. But yeah, man, there's only one place to start, brother. We'll have George on as well. People, he'll be here any second as well. But it's Madueke news, man. I mean, how do you how do you guys keep on doing this? How do you keep on selling players that aren't worth the money for big? Like, how do you do it? Can you give us a crash course? Like, I said it to Rans today, like, you need to give everyone, like, people lessons on how to sell players, bro. Like, genuinely.
We just know how to shine up rejects and rubbish products into magnificent things. We know how to display. You know, when you go to a shopping center or your particular shopping, you see lovely displays, and then you go in and it's bare criminal stuff. It's not but from the outside it just looks beautiful. We're just good at that. There's a banter that's going on social media right now that apparently Arsenal are part of our multi-club model, structure. So we got Strasbourg. We deal a lot with Brighton, and now we've got a sister club, Arsenal, always helping us out when needed. Do you know what I mean? Look, honestly, banter aside, Saeed, I don't know how we do this. They keep falling for it. They keep taking. I mean, the list goes on. David Luiz, Peter Cech was all right, but he didn't do much over there. I think he only won an FA Cup. David Luiz, Jorginho, Havertz, Willian, now Madueke. I mean, we're taking the piss. We're literally taking the piss out of them, and they keep falling for it, bro. They keep falling for it,
bro. The thing is, but my thing is like the money you're getting, because you bought him for, I think, around about
30 million or something.
Like you're selling him for like listen, he hasn't improved 20 million, does he? You know what I mean? But this is the market, though. The market is now crazy, where they're looking at signings and like, well, hold on a minute. If we're getting this player here, we want a lot of this.
English international player. Do you know what I mean? There's a tax for that. So
wow.
No, we have to be honest, Saeed. I'll be real. I think when we're talking about him going up by 20 million, why would he not go up by that price? In the 2.5 years that he's been here, he's been, I'm not going to say he's been a good Premier League player, but he's been a steady Premier League player. He's had improved seasons from where he was before at PSV. He's been playing at Chelsea. He's becoming an England international. He's won a trophy. His price has to go up by at least 10 to 15 million. If you're being on the easy, like, if you're being reserved, you'd say 10 to 15 million. It's probably right that Chelsea expect around 50 to 55, considering how much they paid for him.
If Elanga's going for, what was it? Well, how much did Elanga go for Newcastle? 55.
Like, but Elanga got 11 assists,
What's Madueke's? I don't know.
Madueke's like numbers aren't great. Like, you know what I mean? He got a hat trick in one game, which kind of inflated his numbers. If you know what I mean.
Let me just have a quick look as well.
8 Premier League goals. I think he finished on.
Like, you know, he's seven last season, 5 the season before that, 1 season before that. You know what I mean? It's like, really? Are these numbers suggesting a £50 million player? Really?
It's not, but as I said, Elanga is not like miles better than Madueke. Do you know what I mean? I'd say Elanga's a little bit better, no doubt about that. But I don't think he's miles away. So when you think about that perspective, if Elanga's going for 55, and Madueke, as I said, he's an English international. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's playing for England. So there's a tax for that in itself. So look, I think 50 million will do the job. I think the initial bid was 45 plus 5 in add-ons.
Yeah.
But I reckon the second bid that's going to come hopefully within the next 24, 48 hours will hit the 50 million fixed and maybe 5 add-ons on top. So, and then they'll do the trick.
You know what's mad, Jones? Yeah, like with Arteta, he's got an obsession in it with kind of almost like improving players in it, and I get it. Like, I don't see him basically being a backup now. I see him basically playing on that left hand side. I really don't see him being a backup. I can see him playing games. If you ain't buying a backup for 50 million or 55, he's playing on that left hand side, and Martinelli will have to be maybe a rotation player. He might have to be the one that.
I don't think that'll be the case though. I can see Martinelli being still the starter. I think Martinelli is probably the better of the two players. Maybe not as good at dribbling because he's always running with his head down and so on. But Madueke, for me, when it comes to the final, to be fair, they both leave a lot to be deceived in the final third. So when it comes to goals and assists, it's probably going to be those two competing for that left wing position. But Madueke has not played a lot of left wing. A lot of people keep saying, yeah, he can play both sides. He's played recently for Chelsea on the left hand side, very recently. But I looked at his stats the other day. In his whole career, he's made 11 appearances off the left wing. He's not a left winger. He's not someone that can specialize off that side. And if you're spending £50 million for him to play off that side, then I don't know what Arteta is doing. Like I said, he's got this love relationship with trying to bring players back from the dead, trying to make them something that they ain't. And if he's trying to create Madueke into a left winger, something that, Chelsea have clearly seen enough of him to show that that's not his game. He goes around the outside on the right-hand side every single time. He always makes his way to the byline. He's not a player that cuts in and shoots. Sort of like, if you're on the left-hand side, you look at a Callum Hudson-Odoi. He hasn't got that ability to chop at his player, cut inside, and actually have an effective shot. So I look at Madueke on the left-hand side and say, this isn't going to work out. £55 million, you're talking about 50 million fixed fee. It just goes to show bad business from Arsenal again. And everyone keeps going to Arsenal, they're spending money. Why are they complaining if they're spending money? When you look at the money they've spent over the last however long, the money doesn't look like they've spent it appropriately. Again, 50 million on a player that's going to have no difference. You're taking a sideways step. It's not like he's the step forward to you guys winning the league or the Champions League. You're stepping sideways. Just like when they brought in Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, many people thought that he was going to be a needle mover and take them a step forward in striker. But everyone knew watching Gabriel Jesus, he's not a goal scorer. You cannot be a goal scorer, striker. Yeah. So you spent £45 million on a player that was always going to be a squad player eventually. So I just look at their business and see this as being something they've done quite frequently, and they love to pick up the other big teams' rubbish. They're always shopping in the market of Chelsea's bins. Like they take the saying too literally. One man's trash is another man's treasure. They take that shit way too literally, bro. Way too literal.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is he's not even a treasure. Like, and on top of that, everything my man said. On top of that, there's a lot of people don't talk about this. Chelsea fans know about this. Madueke is an egotistic person, man. He's got like a lot of attitude problems that we've faced. So this guy, I don't know. People talk about him being a backup for Arsenal. I'm not sure whether he's up for being a backup so willy-nilly. Like, he's going to go there and he's going to be like, I'm not coming here to be a backup. And if I'm being honest, I don't think he's good enough to be a starter. So Arsenal, I don't know what they're doing.
But it kind of leads the question of what you're going to do with that money. You know, Miz, I know you got that, collecting all that money. You know? Listen, I see you got 80 million. How much you got from this World Cup so far now?
I'm hearing we've collected 85, and then hopefully if we win the entire thing, that's more than Champions League winner. That's like more than 120 or 130 million, something ridiculous.
Wow.
So 85 is already in the bag.
Wow. So we're looking at some decent money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, can you afford Garnacho in that? Is that something that you
shit. My God.
you have to ask it.
You built me up and then you throw Garnacho there. Oh, brother, I'm putting my two hands together.
But I need to do my sales, man. I need to sales my, you know, I need to
not to us. That honestly, that player scares me, bro. That player scares the living daylights out of me. Not even just the footballing side of things. My man Faz gave him advice, and that's doing millions views. You know what I mean? Like,
that's crazy, man. He got cooked for that.
He got cooked for that. This guy's brother is a big problem as well. His brother is a huge problem. Yeah. Look, Saeed, I beg you, bro. Not us. Find Napoli. I don't know if Napoli's interested in him. Just don't send him to us. I don't know why we admire this player.
That's what Fabrizio said, yeah. He wants to stay in the Premier League. And I'm like, where is he going? I can't see.
Like, Nottingham Forest. Alanga's gone. Send him to Nottingham Forest. Beautiful club for him. Lovely. Send him there. Not Chelsea, please. We don't want this. We just don't want this.
Bro,
I'm praying, bro. I'm praying.
I swear down, bro. We missed. I think we missed a chance in January, though. That was our moment to sell him, man. And obviously, that's when you were very, very interested in him.
We were close.
Scary.
We were close. The here we go was, I think, moments away, bro.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. But United were asking for some crazy demands, bro. Yeah. 70 million at the time. And I was like, bro, please be reasonable. 40, 50. But then again, the market now is crazy, bro. Because now, if you now sell a player now, it's crazy now. If you do well in terms of selling, that's going to be used against you now. You know that, man. Like, if you sell a player now for 50 million, you've got 50 million plus money that you would have had to spend on the player. It's mad.
But to be fair, it's always been like that, Saeed, man. Because if you remember days when, even just yourself, when you guys sold Ronaldo and everyone knew that you had money and like you need to sign players, they're getting all these extra 5-10 millions out of you because they know you've got fees. Like even when we sold the Bale money, teams didn't want to negotiate on us. When they did, they were throwing big price at us because they know you just sold a player for 100 mil. You've got the money in the bank there, and it's always been like that in a way. But now it's like teams are going like extra mile to say that, oh, your player, you value your player at this price, which is always stupid price. Oh, so that means we value our player at this price. And then that's where we're seeing the market and everyone at the moment, 55 million pounds is just the perfect fee where every club wants to accept.
Yeah,
I want 55 mil. I want 55 mil. It's like a buzz, the new buzz number. Like if you get that amount, that means you've got a good amount for your team, your players. And I just think that the selling clubs are in a lot better positions now than they were before. Like the bigger clubs used to strong arm the smaller clubs into selling their players, and the smaller clubs, would make the players hand in transfer requests and all of these things. The players aren't on that anymore. The players are on, look, you deal with the club to club stuff. I'm just gonna say I'll accept personal terms, and we've seen the selling clubs stick to their prices until the bigger clubs pay it, man.
Yeah, I look at yeah, you're right now. And also, when you buy a player, say, for example, now we bought Kudus for 62.5, even though that was a release clause, teams are looking at it thinking, well, hold on a minute, especially United and Boomer, we want similar money, maybe a little bit more, if not. They're looking at what you signed as well and what in a certain amount. And Chelsea have bought Gittins for 45, and then they've got who they got?
João Pedro.
And I think that was
55.
55,
55, I think.
Yeah. So we're looking at that sort of range now was the starting point for players now. We're not even looking at 40 million bids unless you get them and you find a gem for 40 million. Fair enough. But now the going rate now is this. You've got to pay for it. That's it. You're not buying anyone for 50 million. Like you're not leaving. It's not now. I can't leave my house with at least £20 to go to the shops and go and get something like bread and milk. Like,
Yeah, it's
I'm
mad. It's
telling
mad.
you, you're not buying anything for that much.
That's the benchmark. That's the benchmark. Do you know what I mean?
Like, you're buying bread and milk for £20 now. It's mad, bro. And that's, I feel like that's the thing now with transfers. Like, you're not leaving until you spend at least 50 minimum, bro. Minimum.
100%. 100%. That's become the benchmark, man. Like, even sort of look at Madueke. Like, all banter aside, as a Chelsea fan, like Madueke, guys, I'll tell you honestly, this brother, whatever you've seen so far, I'll be shocked if he improves from here. This is what you're going to get. At best, he's going to be able to take his man on from the right. He hasn't played much on the left side. For a player that's a left-footed player, he really is not good on his left side, you know. Like, for some reason, he's not good on his left. But even when he's on the right, he likes to go on the byline, but he's not good on his right either. He doesn't really whip in those crosses with his right. But he's going for bare minimum 50 million. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't take much to be a 50 million player these days. Can you imagine if you actually have some level of skills? What's your price going to be then? Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah. It's mad, bro. It's mad, bro. But in terms of that money, though, by the way, big up to everyone watching the 1.5K in the building. Please do hit the like button on the video. That would be massively helpful. But so what are you gonna go and get? You've got now. I'll give you your attackers: Esteval, Neto, Pedro,
Gittins,
Cole Palmer, Delap, Jackson, and Nkunku.
Yep.
So you've
Joao
got
Felix and all of those players, they're going to go.
Yeah, but they're not really part of the plan. So you're going to get rid of, I'm guessing, Madueke and
Nkunku's most likely going to go as well.
Yeah. So that would
Jackson's a question mark as well. Jackson's become a question mark.
Yeah. Who do you need? Who do you want? What's the plan? Like, is it going to be a Malik Fofana? Is it going to be someone of that quality? Or do you think, Rodrigo, there's a dream there. There's a look, is there a dream, or is there someone that you think you could go and get with that money?
Bro, Rodrigo would be an amazing dream. Look, we were linked with Kudus, and obviously he's ended up going to Spurs.
Yeah, we'll speak about that.
The flavor at the moment, Saeed, is we're going for players that are versatile in many roles. Right? We're going for similar sort of profile like Joao Pedro, who can play up front, who can play in the half space, who can play out wide, who can drop deep, link up. They've got a lot more artilleries with them. They're not pigeonholed in one area, right? Now, Delap is obviously the out-and-out number 9, no problems. He's still got to develop. He doesn't need to be, so multifaceted. You just focus on scoring goals. You're a striker, right? If we get rid of Madueke, which looks like we are, if we get rid of Nkunku, which also looks like we probably will, because Nkunku is not going to get all the game time, and it's a World Cup season coming up. He wants to play as much as he can to represent France. And if we also get rid of Jackson, the word, I think, Saeed, is we're going to look for a versatile player, another versatile type of player. Oh. Malik Fofana is a shout, but I don't know whether that is completely concrete, because I think he's got personal terms agreed with Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
I think the one that we are probably going for is Morgan Rogers, Morgan Rogers is also somewhat, I don't know how much we want to take this into consideration when they flirt around on social media with Chelsea players and this, that, the other. Morgan Rogers, there's a little bit of method to this madness. There's a bit of logic. City Academy, we've got bare City Academy players, right? We're creating a mini City Academy, do you know what I mean? And like Joe Shields likes, our head of recruitment, likes Morgan Rogers. Maresca seems to know a little bit about Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers is very versatile. He can play in the half space. He can play out wide.
Yeah,
you never know. He could even play up front as a false 9, drop in, do you know what I mean? And link up with the inside forwards. So watch this space for Morgan Rogers. Right now the focus is getting rid of players. We're going to try and get rid of as many players, because right now our quota, we've got too many players. In terms of meeting the UEFA rules and regulations, we need to get rid of players, right? So we're going to try and get rid of players, and then I think Morgan Rogers is the next one that we might target. And Aston Villa needs money as well.
They do need money. I can't lie to you. Like, Morgan Rogers, I can see how it's going to work. I can see him playing on the left-hand side. I can see him playing in that kind of almost left half space where, Cole Palmer's been operating, especially on the right side. I can see it. And you've almost got your fullbacks in Cucurella. Like, I can see it happening, I really can. It's just whether what would it be a deal for him be? What would the fee be? Like, what we're looking at fee wise? Is he
if Madueke is going for 50, what do you think they're gonna say for Morgan Rogers, who's a far bigger skill set and a far bigger player, I'd say, also another English international. Saeed, I think this might be going for I reckon he might even go for somewhere around 80 million.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in the price range where any Premier League club's going to be willing to pay what Aston Villa want for Rodgers. I know a lot of people are under the impression that Aston Villa need to sell players, but they don't. They obviously sorted themselves out, done the Chelsea thing with the women's club, put themselves in a decent PSR position again. There's no Rashford wages, there's no Asensio wages. All those wages are all off the book. So they could probably work out selling a player for 20, 30 million and get themselves back into a decent position. I don't see them selling their best player over the last year to any of the Premier League rivals, especially considering Morgan Rogers was probably the difference maker in what pushed them to stay into those European places last year. So when you look at a price range, like you said there, they're probably going to command something upwards of what, Jack Grealish cost them. He was 100 mil a few years ago. I'm not saying necessarily that Morgan Rogers was a bigger talent at the time, but the level of performance he's playing at right now, and if he has another strong year, it leads you to question, bro. They're definitely they're going to be right to command around 78 million.
But with the player, I hear what you're saying in terms of the club might not want to let him go, and that makes sense. He's one of their best players. But would the player have the ambition to play in the Champions League? Because I don't think Aston Villa's in the Champions League, right? Aston Villa didn't. Nah,
he's in the Europa League.
Europa League.
So World Cup coming up, big season. You want to be able to display your footballing abilities to a wider community, basically. So Morgan Rogers, if he wants to play Champions League, there you go. There's an opportunity.
Nah, I think if he was Eze's age, then it'd be a good point because, 26, 27, he needs to play Champions League football at the peak of his career. But he's only 22 years old, man. I don't feel like he's going to push for a move just yet, knowing European football as a whole for his age group.
That's our age bracket part. That's where we operate. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%. But I just mean with him only being 22, I can't imagine he's at that point in his career where he's like, I need to play Champions League football. He had his first year of Champions League at 21, where he had a very good year. Have another season in the Europa League where Aston Villa could win Europa League. They will definitely be one of the favourites, especially under Emery. He's missed the Europa League himself, so he'll put himself in a very good position winning that for that World Cup next year. So I'd look at it and saying probably even on the outside, the best view for Morgan Rogers would stay there for another year, see how Aston Villa is. If they have a bad year and they don't finish in European places next year, then push for a move. But at the moment, if he pushes for a move, he'll end up going to Chelsea and being, again, a bit part player. He's not going to be the go-to player or the first team player. He's just going to play a role in the squad rather than Aston Villa. He's the main player at Aston Villa, or will be one of the main players.
How long does he have left in the contract, by the way, Morgan Rogers? And what would be his wages right now? Just as curiosity purpose.
His contract expires in 2030.
Oh, he's got plenty.
He's got a long time to go.
He signed a new deal in November.
The only thing is, he would have to put in a transfer request and say, "Yo, I want to leave." That would be the only way that he leaves, like Aston Villa. Like it has to come from him. I don't think it's going to be one of them where Chelsea's putting a random bid in. Like if he says, "I want to leave," to Emery, I think Emery's the type of guy to say, "Yo, listen, I can't be having players that are not wanting to stay here. I've got to let him go," and that's why it would happen. But if you're spending that sort of money on him, why don't you just go and see what Rodrigo's saying? Like, because this brother here, by the way, I'm telling you now, like the disrespect that I'm seeing to Rodrigo by especially Alonso is absolutely madness. For him not to get in no minutes, bro. And then yesterday he goes, "Is a technical decision." Why do managers get away with this? By the way, they say technical decision, all of a sudden it's deemed as okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if a manager comes in. Because far too often we know a manager comes in, you say, let him do his job, let him have his team. Alonso's doing that. He's playing with his team. If Rodrigo's not in his plans, or if he's not a big fan of Rodrigo, or maybe he's just not seen enough of Rodrigo and he's like, I need to see more from him. him not choosing to play him should never be a problem. It's been not even 6 weeks into his, about 6 weeks into his job. He probably hasn't even evaluated the players enough. If he has a full pre-season and then the whole of next year he's doing the same thing, then it's like, okay, it's been a bit harsh here. But it's only been 5 weeks. They played this tournament. Maybe he didn't expect him to have a significant role anyway. I think people are making far too big of a deal out of it. But more than anything, I was going to ask that question and saying that, like, if you get this 50 million from Madueke, why don't you slap a 20 or 30 on top and go for Rodrigo? Show your ambition. Try to compete for the league. Like,
honestly, the entirety of the Chelsea fan base will tell you Rodrigo is the guy. But have a look at Rodrigo's wages right now. We have a certain restriction. Like, we operate in a certain restricted field. Do you know what I mean? I think he's on gross wage at the moment, 210 or 220. We just don't do that. Like,
he's on literally 202,000.
There you go. So we operate in the space of up to 150,000, and then if you can like do well with us, we start looking at bumping it up. Like, for example, Caicedo.
You've got loads of players in between. We looked at this the other day, didn't we, Si? There was loads of players above 150k at your club. Maybe like 5 or 6, but there's a few, and not many of them. Like, I saw Gyokores was on like 180k.
So some of these were pre-Todd Bowley. Pre-Todd Bowley. So, or the first year of Todd Bowley. You remember Todd Bowley was the chairman for the first 6 months, where he was just doing some mad stuff. After that, Paul Winston-Lee and Lawrence Stewart, they came in, and slowly but surely, all of that wage bill and everything started to get really, really restricted. So, look, I'd love Rodrigo, but I know how my club operates. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's more of a dream right now, isn't it?
Look, you know what's going to happen, Saeed? Mad PR is going to happen that Chelsea's going for Rodrigo. And for the next week, it's all going to be Chelsea's trying their best. And then all of a sudden, the player doesn't want to come because he doesn't want to accept our wage structure. Do you know what I mean? So they're going to make it look like to the fan base, we tried, man. We tried. We've been going for him. We even willing to pay the 80 million to Real Madrid, but the player don't want to come to us. He doesn't want to reduce his wages for us. And they're going to make it look like it's all on him. So we know how this goes. We know how. I think
McMahon was that reason as well. What did he want wages-wise, McMahon? Did he want big wages as well?
No, he didn't want big wages. They just didn't want to pay the fee.
Yeah, we didn't want to pay the 4 or 5 million extra.
Mad.
Do you know what I mean?
That's mad, bro. But the thing is, though, it's one of them where I still think McMahon, even though a lot of people hype him up, I don't think he's what he used to be, bro. I really don't. And he's got an injury record that's very, very worrying as well. So I don't think he's something that you've lost in a sense. Like, he's not like.
Do you get Onana? Do you get Onana vibes or something? Say, do you feel like, this guy could turn out to be Onana?
The only comparison they have is they're both dark skin. That's it. Like, there's no comparison between those two.
That's no one's next to Onana.
Ex-Serie A as well. Do you know what I mean? Serie A.
Yeah, true. But I genuinely think for me, he's not like, he's someone that, you know, when you buy a player, and you're thinking he's that, but then it's not really that anymore. And you have to almost kind of say to yourself, like, relax, bro, relax. Like, let's temper expectation, bro. So let's see, man. He's a strong character. He's a leader. He's, he's someone that has got experience. I think that's that kind of mentality would have been needed in the fan base. But I don't think it's someone that you kind of like,
We're not going for him anymore. Apparently, it's off. It's finished. And Allegri wants him to stay. He's apparently going to be club captain, this, that, the other. So, that chapter's over, man. That chapter's over.
Yeah. Big up to Busi Lida. He says, I think Chelsea should sell instead of buying players. They look like human trafficking. That's crazy.
Hey, it's another way of revenue streams. We don't have the biggest stadium. We don't make all the money through ticket sales and whatnot. So this is we call it stock exchange. Do you know what I mean? We do business. We buy players, sell players, buy players, sell players. That's Chelsea got to make money somehow.
X for real, they're really doing player X business. Like the thing is, people act like this is a new thing to Chelsea. Like Chelsea have always done this under Roman. They done this. It was just wasn't a high. They would have. Remember, they have a whole loan squad of 20 players, 30 players that are going out on loan. Yeah. Half of these players, and the thing is, the only difference was they weren't selling these players because they constantly getting loan fees in. So why sell a player if every year you get a 3-4 million loan fee for him across 5 years of his contract? Yeah. He's going to build up to 20-30 million, then sell him for
remember Lucas Pezon. Remember Lucas Pezon?
Lucas, that's the one I remember. 10
years, 10 years on loan.
I just remember him being one of them FIFA wonder kids when he was a wonder kid for 7 FIFAs in a row. And you're like, bro, is this kid not 23? You look at him, you're like, yo, he's still young. Like Chelsea just sending him on loan for however long. Chelsea have always done this, man. And to be fair, I think rival fans are jealous. And I am too. Like if our club sold as good as Chelsea did, we'd be a lot more stronger in the transfer market, but we don't. Man United, Tottenham, we probably make like 100 million across a few seasons in sales. Not you guys make that every year in the sale. Like it's madness.
Yeah. Every summer we're making money.
Yeah, 100%. Like you're making money, bro. So listen, man, it's one of them where, boy, like it's good time to maybe be a Chelsea fan, right? And then you got the Club World Cup as well. How you feeling, man? PSG? Bro, you know what? Yeah. PSG is going to be, what a team, by the way. I don't know if you watched it yesterday.
I watched it. Yeah.
That is going to be one hell of a final, guys.
Let me tell you something.
You say one hell of a final, it's going to be one hell of a beating. That's what it's going to be. It's one hell of a beating. And you know what it is? I love this. Because I kept hearing yesterday before the game, Real Madrid are going to deal with PSG. Trust me. I was like, no. The mode, do you know what it is? PSG are a wolf that's just had its first taste of blood. These guys are hungry. They've got that Champions League. And before, let's forget that. They've won every single trophy that they've been up for this season. They've gone to that Champions League. They smashed them up. In this competition, they've conceded 1 goal. And that was the one game they lost against Botafogo. Yeah. And their players were building brick walls before the game, bruv. Them man are really defenders out here. Like they're building walls at the back. So like when I look at what PSG are doing, they are. And I can't lie, I'm scared. I'm scared for that Super Cup because I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to be embarrassed, but they look like they are. They're out to just embarrass teams, and I think you guys are gonna get handled, man.
Oh my days, nah, no chance, man. I'll tell you right now, we're winning the Club World Cup. I'm so certain. I've never been so certain in my mindset. I'm going into this final thinking we are winning them. I love it. I want PSG fans and PSG people that are, all the other rivals that are going to be watching and hoping for Chelsea to lose. I want you to feel very, very comfortable. I'm glad they blamed Real Madrid the way they did because they're going to come to the final thinking they're going to take care of business. Saeed has been watching us because he's been hoping that we fail. Yeah, I'm telling you, we've got something special for them. If they think we're going to rock up the way Real Madrid did and be so discombobulated, unorganized, no structure, Rudiger, air swings, their defenders doing some mad stuff, open space everywhere, getting done by the press. If you think you're going to do that to us, I hope PSG come in complacent. I really do. I hope you think you're going to take care of business, and then we're going to show you. We're really going to show you what it really means. Bro. It wasn't that long ago they almost got beat by Aston Villa. Let's not forget that.
What? Someone played that on their thingy, on Twitter yesterday, the video, and I was like, rah, that's crazy. Like Aston Villa beat them. But to be fair, if they win this, by the way, they would have beaten Aston Villa, Tottenham,
all the Premier League clubs.
All the Premier League clubs in the 7th most spot. And if they
we need to stop this. We need to stop this side. We need to stop this and represent Premier League.
That's the full Premier League.
We need to stop this.
Premier League, yeah? Come on.
Someone's got to carry the Premier League, bro. No better team than Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, we were the team to put Europe on our back this year already, so I'm sure we can do it again. I'm just saying, I'm sure we can do it again.
Are you, man? It's gonna be actually embarrassing, bro. Like, I don't know why you're not playing this, bro. They should just give it to someone else, man. George, buddy, are you serious, bro? Like that.
Well, we've got difference makers now. Real difference makers.
You
were talking about what Chelsea are going to do with their money. I
know
something they're not doing with their money. That's not hijacking my deal. I told you that they're not hijacking my deal.
Hey, have you done the medical yet? Have you done the medical yet? You know what we've done last time, the medical with William.
Yeah. We know. I'm familiar with that game, but he seems. I think he's on the way to the medical, like as we speak, because the medical is going to be done today in the afternoon. So, do
you know what? I think Kudus hates Chelsea. I think Kudus actually hates Chelsea. He doesn't want to deal with Chelsea.
Why? It's because they never really went in for him, or they just.
I heard there's something to do with the agents that like he got the same agents as Kai Havertz, and apparently that's ended really sour. So they've sort of just been in that same realm, like they don't want to deal with Chelsea.
I don't know about that, but what I've heard is we've not been serious with West Ham. We're telling West Ham, hey, take some of our players. We're interested with Kudus. Let's do a deal. Pick someone. We got bare players. Pick someone.
Yeah.
So Kudus is probably looking at that going, you're not serious about me. If you really want me, why are you doing this nonsense? Pick a player. Let's trade and this, that, the other. Like if you're serious, come in with a bid. Let's sit down and then let's do personal terms agreement, right? So Kudus is seeing the ambition or the intent from Spurs. They go, look, Spurs really want me. They're dealing with cash. They're not Mickey Mousing around. And we've kind of sort of dicked around with him a couple of seasons ago when we ended up getting Cole Palmer. And look, Cole Palmer's turned out to be great. But so there could be a history around that, we didn't go for him back then either. So, yeah.
Then you agreed a fee for him back then, innit? It was just personal terms or something was like...
Yeah, the personal terms was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's probably left a sour taste in his mouth then, but I mean, I warned you guys, especially Don, when I was told Kudus won't come to Spurs, when another club comes in, he's going to leave. I've been told Atletico went in for him. I've been told Bayern went in for him. A few other clubs went in for him, and he rejected quite a few clubs to say he only wanted Tottenham. Saudi Arabia, he could have got the wage of his lifetime, but he wanted to play at the top level in the Champions League for my club. So he has an ambition to come to the right side of North London, where European trophies are held. Are held. He's seen what's gone on. He's like, oh shit, I'm familiar with that game. Europa League. I need to go over there. That looks nice over there. That party.
Saeed, you see what you guys have done. I know, man.
I feel sick every day, bro. Every day I wake up, I think about that day. Where we've given these guys, bro, bro. Listen, 55 million is a decent fee. It's the going rate now. Yeah.
That's no.
Now you're trying to. This is what Saeed does. You can see the saltiness like coming out. Like you guys. What's the counter? 40 days, 9 hours, 12 minutes since you bid the same price for Mbeumo. You still can't get a deal done. It took us 7 days to get a deal done. It took us 7 days to get the deal done. We're paying 30 million below his release clause. That's what you call.
Are you really naive to think that Tottenham were in for him for 7 days? Come on, man. That's not how transfers work. You were interested from the start of summer.
Okay. So how long you been in for Mbeumo then? Realistically, 3 months?
Yeah, of course.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
3 or 4 months. Okay. So even worse. Worse.
You've not got him in 7 days.
I can't. No, but my point is, I counted.
So this is where I do the Michael Jackson thing to you, Jeremy.
You gotta lay it down, say, because I do you see the consistency? I've done it from when you put your first bid in for Mbeumo, not from when we first heard you guys were going for him. Just like when Spurs apparently put their first bid in was just 9 days ago. So to me, it's the turnover from business of knowing what the price, what the club wanted, and then actually paying what the club wanted or getting the deal done. Spurs got a deal done for way under what West Ham wanted. They wanted 65 mil. We got 10 million underneath that. Favorable payment terms with being across 3 years, no mad add-ons. He's not on some crazy wages as well. He's only on 160k a week. I think this is an amazing deal. When you look at Alanga's going 55 million. There's a clear big difference between the quality and talent level of Alanga and Kudus. When I look at Kudus, I'm comparing him to the best players, like the best players available in this window, Eze and Mbeumo and them, man. I'm not comparing him to Alanga's and that. So I think this is an amazing deal.
Alanga had a better season than him last season.
He did.
Last season was a stinker. Yeah, last season was a stinker from Kudus. But I agree. He's a better player.
Listen, he's a talented player, but he does play when he wants to, though. Like he does got that kind of almost
temperament. He's got that temperament, huh?
Yeah, man. He's got to be. I think with what though the manager you've got though, he won't allow that to happen. He won't allow the kind of levels to drop. But I do believe last season, Bowen was carrying West Ham last season. Like he was literally carrying.
I think a lot of people forget though the situation with West Ham is difficult, isn't it? Because he came in when they had the new sporting director Tim Staten who come over, and he made a lot of promises to a lot of players that West Ham are going to be doing things differently. He's left after a year of being at West Ham. And we remember that 2 years ago, they had a massive chance. When they brought Kudus in, they brought in Edson Alvarez. They brought in a lot of these players from foreign leagues and telling them that West Ham are here to compete now. We just won the Conference League. We're in the Europa League again. We're here to compete and we want to go to play Champions League football eventually. They've then taken 2 steps back and West Ham do what West Ham do. That director of football's left basically saying West Ham are horrible to work with. He's come out in the window literally recently and say being in England and being in Germany are literally light and day. The chairman's over here are way too involved. And West Ham are known for that. I'm seeing all West Ham fans cry about David Sullivan. He's leaving our club again. They all want to protest. I'm seeing Lawless basically say, oh, it's Man United's fault. It's Sullivan's fault. It's everyone else's fault but their own team's fault. Yeah. Like when I look at how this is
mad though that they're selling the player to their, I want to say their rivals, but like someone that they shouldn't really be selling.
They consider us their rivals. We're not their rivals. Like West Ham has never competed with us for anything. West Ham's never been at our level. They've had a few seasons where they finished above us like 3 times in 25 years, bruv. Like they're not anything to us. We've taken their best players when we went there and got Scott Parker, he was their best player. When we went there and we got Michael Carrick, Jermaine Defoe, Freddie Canute, they were some of their best players. Like Spurs have been taking their big players. There's nothing new to this. West Ham fans, get used to this, man. Thank you. Because they're doing the community business that they're known for. I live close to West Ham and I know they do some great community work and selling Kudus for 55 million. Thank you, man. Thank you for helping us out.
What you're saying is they're your sister club. They're your sister club.
Yeah, pretty much.
Be a good sister. Be a good sister.
Feeding us. Feed me.
Bro, God. But no, honestly, like I think for me, it's a good signing, numbers. I can't like when you put rivals aside, it's a good signing, and I think for me, he can play across the front 3, very versatile, but very like he's got a. I remember when you lot smashed them 5-0, but he was a star of the show. He was carrying the ball, like he was absolutely like the qualities that Kudus has is undeniable. Like he's a top player.
Bro, on his day, he can single-handedly win you games. Like we've seen it. We've seen it. He'll carry the entire show. Like if he's in the mood on a particular day, he will literally take the ball and he'll annihilate the opposition. But the question is, how consistent can he be on the mood? Do you know what I mean? How consistently can he stay? As you said, Saeed, it's like, I feel like playing good today, so I'll play good today. I don't feel like playing good today, so I can't be bothered. But as you said also, Thomas Frank, he's known for someone. He's not going to take that kind of rubbish. He's dealt with players like Ivan Toney previously, who's also got a bit of an attitude and whatnot, and he's made sure Ivan Toney's delivered on a regular basis. Let's see, man. Look, it's a really good signing for that price and that caliber of player. It's a very good signing. He gets to play Champions League football as well. Spurs are in Champions League. Yep. You know, it might get the best out of him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that what you're looking at now? Eze, who's next then? Kudus in now. What are you looking at? What's the latest?
I've seen the latest being Yohan Wissa. Yohan Wissa could be the second player to add to that. Now 50 million. I remember we spoke about this in January because he was a player who we'd looked at then, and I'd said pretty much at that time that he'd be a good player for us, but probably not the needle mover that we needed at the time. Now, in a different position that we are now, where we probably don't need him to have the same impact he would have needed to have in January, so with all the injuries and so on, I actually like this deal for Tottenham. Having someone that familiar with Frank's system, a veteran player. I've said one of the key things that Spurs need going into the season is a more experienced head in the squad. I feel like that's one thing we lacked, having those 28, 29, 30-year-olds that have been there, they've been competing. They could just bring that calmness to
He's mad underrated. He's underrated.
He's mad underrated. Like 19 goals in the Premier League last season, 12 the season before. I think he had like 7 or 8 the seasons before that. Yeah. He's steadily improved under Thomas Frank. And I think just having that familiarity and being able to maybe not be a guaranteed start for Tottenham, but being an option who can come off the bench or someone that can compete with Solanke, push Solanke on, because obviously last year he's had a better season than Solanke. Now, depending on how he's used, he could be an option. Solanke could be an option. But I think Thomas Frank just needs someone that's familiar. And with Yohan Wissa, if you can't get Mbomo, you go get the other side of the Bold Brothers of Distraction. You get Yohan Wissa. So when I'm looking at this, depending on the money, because I've heard they want 50 mil. Now they're going mad. You're not getting 50 million pounds for a 28-year-old Yohan Wissa. It's just not happening. I don't know. How much was Tony? 60 mil or something they paid for 60 mil? Like,
no, Tony was 40 million to Saudi.
40 million to Saudi. So when I'm looking at that deal, I'm saying Tony, he was better than Wissa, and like this is good, but like when I'm looking at those deals, I'm like, okay,
it's come off a 20-goal season. That's the thing, though.
That's
when
the
you
thing
come off
well.
a 20-goal season, your price goes up. I'm sorry,
it does. But I'd suggest 35 to 40 million. Anything between there with some add-ons, that'd be fine for me.
Walk away. I think 50 million for Wissa. I know it sounds a lot, but you're getting a guy who scores in the Premier League. He knows the league, and I think, you know what, man, like. I don't see like 50 million now. Like, don't look at the actual price now. Like, it's not like, I'm sorry, but Solanke, yeah, he got a couple of goals, but was Solanke a 65 million player?
Nah, he was about 40 million.
It wasn't a 65 million. Yeah.
Like, this is the reality now. Like, you're gonna buy these sort of players now for these sort of price. This 25 million is a new 50 million now. Like, that's what it is, bro. It is like, and unfortunately, you know, Emmanuelson was what, 40 million? Like, big up to Show there.
I think it's one of those ones where if we sign him for 50 million, I don't care. I'll just be like, all right, it's a great signing. The price don't matter. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, hearing 50 million for Wissa, it seems like a bit too much in my head, but I wouldn't care if Spurs spent it. I'll be real.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? It's also the fact that it's Thomas Frank. Do you know what I mean? So you're not only getting a very good underrated player who knows the league, who's, you know, Premier League proven, but you're getting a player that knows the manager and his style, what he wants. So Brentford are getting decimated, right? They've lost their manager. Mbuemo wants to go now. Wissa, Norgard left to Arsenal. So they want to make sure that they get their money. Do you know what I mean? So I think if Wissa was to go to any other club, I don't think it would be 50 million. Because it's Spurs and it's Thomas Frank, it's 50 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I think for me is that, you know, they are saying that if they do get Wissa, then United might not get a Boomer, but I'm not really believing all that nonsense, man. United should get that Boomer over the line. But like
Saeed, how would you feel, like, hypothetically? I know this is not in the news or anything like that, because right now Mbuemo publicly has said, I want only Man United. But how would you feel if somehow Spurs steal Mbuemo from you? Bro, just break that down for me, bro. How would that go down with you, bro?
You know what it is? I would have said that if they didn't wait for Kudus. I would have been like, maybe. But the fact that they got Kudus in now, it's no chance. It's absolutely, categorically no chance. And they got Tell as well, no chance. But it does leave.
I love it. I needed that clip. For Skullduggery.
Yeah, but Skullduggery, you know, he's out of business right now. He's taking time off. You know what I mean? He's relaxing right now. You don't know what's there, bro. Honestly, bro, it's getting to the point now where I'm like, yo, bro, like, just come. What are we doing here, man? Like, it's Thursday, the 10th of July, bro. Like, we're approaching halfway point of July already, guys, man. It's crazy. Like
is Mbuemo in training? Is he at Brentford training?
Monday, coming to train on Monday. So on Monday,
that's what's strange to me is, like, if you guys were serious about this transfer, especially, like, I don't understand, because the gap in valuation is not huge. You guys have bid what, 50 up to 55 million pounds, including the add-ons.
Yeah,
they want 65 mil to 70 mil. Like, it's 10 million gap in valuation. Why is it taking over a month to negotiate a 10 million gap? Like, there should be some middle ground. Okay, Man United, look, you're going to pay 60 million fixed, 7.5 in add-ons. They'd probably accept that. I don't know why there's such a delay. Like, it seems again, we've seen this from Man United in many years in the past. It's really poor business from your team.
Apparently, I've heard something yesterday about Brentford are really looking at the market right now, and they're seeing that as transfers keep going on, they're thinking, yo, like, we think this guy's worth more. Worth more. So the problem is, if they're doing that, and that makes sense, because, like, they're just looking at the market. They're just actually watching. It's like a stock market. They're just watching the market, thinking, yo, right, looking at this right now, and yo,
this guy's stocks are rising.
Yeah, this guy's stocks is rising, bro. Like, what the hell are you doing here, mate? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the only reason. Like, United can't really do anything about that, bro. Like, we can't, bro. Like, we are trying to negotiate. I get it, but it's like Brentford can keep their player. And I don't think Mbeumo's going to be the type to be forcing a move. Like, I don't think he's going to be. I think he's very respectful. No disrespect here, but he was in the Championship, came from nowhere, was made into something by Brentford. I know he also has to make his own career, but you've got to owe a lot of that to Brentford. And I think for me, he kind of respects that. He's given a platform. He's been given the kind of place to thrive, and the fans have been very, very loving of him. But there comes a time where you look at it thinking, right, I'm on holiday. I don't really want to be going back to Brentford, I want to be really going to United. I don't want to go to Brentford. I've still not probably sorted out my house and whatnot. Like, brother, there's bare shit need to be done, like you want to be packing out by now. You don't want to be waiting around thinking, oh, I've got to go back to Brentford, train, then still wait around for that phone call. It's just for me, timing,
Saeed, I want to ask you the tougher question, because so far you've looked at from Brentford point of view and Mbeumo's point of view. Look at your rival, like the neighborhood rival that you got, City, the way they just operate. They just go and buy. They were decimated. They needed to revamp, and they've just gone into the market, done their business before Club World Cup. Boom. Like, brought in all of these players and they're ready. Don't you think your club really this season, bro, you cannot stuff around this season, bro. You just cannot. Your pre-season's just about to start very, very soon. You wanted to have all of these pieces ready to go, and let's start the pre-season. Amrim's job is on the line in the first 5 games, bro. In the first 5 games, his job's on the line. It's cruel, but it is on the line. I can't believe your owners didn't get in on this business quick and get the job done way back. Now, as his price is skyrocketing, what are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? But I just feel like, once again, a bit too much incompetency at the ownership level for you guys, where Amrim's going to start a preseason with not all his pieces there again. Do you know what I mean? So
I agree.
It's not ideal.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm more looking at the guys like Sunderland and them, man. Like the people around us that we know. I'm seriously, man. I'm not even looking at Man City and all these teams. I'm looking at the guys around us that potentially are gonna get stronger. You know what I mean? And they might finish higher than us, bro. And are
you preparing for a relegation battle?
I'm not saying I'm preparing, but I'm just looking around us and I'm like, yo, man, like I'd rather look at the teams around us than look at the teams ahead of us. I'll be real with you, like. I'm not really looking at Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. I know it sounds mad, but we are not there. We're not there. We have to look at the teams that are fighting for top 6, and if that's not Brentford's, but the Aston Villas, the teams like Brightons of the world, like, that are in and around that position. That's where Man United have to be focusing on for now. Obviously, year on, your expectations go higher. But at the minute right now, with Cunha, United are struggling to finish top 8, top 9, really and truly. Maybe even top 10. With Cunha only. Cunha gives us a little bit of a boost, but isn't enough right now. So,
Saeed, I'm just baffled how, bro, this is Man United. Look at the way you're talking about your team, bro. Like, I'm shocked, Saeed, bro.
I can only reflect what's happening, though. If I'm excited, you'll see me excited. You see me with my flag and the shades. I'll be excited, man. I've not done that. It's been there. It's collecting dust. There's no shades and no nothing, bro. Because you can't be excited by nothing right now. Like, you have to bring in players, bro. And I said United, if they wanted to be serious this summer and finish in the top 6, we need at least 5 signings. We've got one in, and Boomer, if he comes in, after that, it will be sales. Sales will be the difference. And then it'll be a case of, right, cool, we can then move on now. But until then, I've got to almost protect my energy and my whatever. Like, no, I can't really.
Is there any thought that, like, because when I look at my team, I know with Thomas Frank coming in, I've got the feeling that he's going to lift the floor of our team just naturally by being a better coach. A lot of these players are going to already take the step forward. Do you think with a preseason, because obviously, let's be right, Amram didn't have a preseason last year, and as much as I clown him and many of us clown him for his performances in the Premier League, a preseason makes a huge difference to a manager. Do you think with a full preseason with the squad, he can make some of these players you've currently got better, so your squad is looking like a better team next year already?
Brother, that question there, I can't lie to you, bro. I don't know, man. Like, he's always got his whistle out already in training, you know what I mean? And he's ready. And listen, he's a guy that you can tell, like, will never give up on his job. He's one of them, like, he's always optimistic. But, bro, man, you can be a good guy and not be good at your job, bro. You know what I mean? This is the reality. Like, good guys, you know what I mean? They don't always do well, bro. And I think for me, with him, he needs quality in this system, bro. Like, I get it, yeah. Sometimes your coaches should make players better. But with this one here, like, he visibly needs, you can clearly see it last year. He's not been able to kind of get this team playing to the maximum. And unfortunately, even I agree with him. Højlund ain't good enough. Okay, then let's fix that position then. Garnacho ain't good enough. That's why he's getting rid of him. Rashford ain't good enough. That's why he's getting rid of him. So I feel like he understands it, but he also wants a new environment, like, you know, with players that he doesn't have to always micromanage. Like, and Boomer and Kudus, you don't have to tell him what to do. You don't have to tell him how to find the back of the net. They can do what they need to do. You know what I mean? But the problem is with Amorim is that he clearly needs a lot of players, because we've seen it with the players that he's had last season. He came in at a very, very good time. It wasn't a case it was like January, February. He came in November, bro. There was a lot of time to really, really, you know, turn around the season. And he didn't do it. Got considerably worse. And that, it's still a stain on him. He can say whatever about good times are coming back, bro. Good times ain't coming back with the same players that you've got. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, bro. So in that regards, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I feel like for me, it's one of them where I don't really believe in the manager. But, like, bringing the players in to prove everyone wrong. If you can bring in the players and we're all of a sudden, we're cooking and we're doing well, etc., then maybe we might be able to do something. But right now, at this minute, there's literally no talk of sales. All our players are there. Nori wants to buy him. Here, the Napoli president has said something, but I don't know what he's actually said. I hope it's something concrete, because if that means we can go and get Napoli to buy Garnacho, that would be amazing. So let's see, man. And like I said, them sales, I don't know where they go. I don't know where Rashford goes. You know, where does he go? Where does he go?
You know what? The massive problem with your club right now is you don't even have a somewhat of a skeleton in the team, that there are a couple of players that are very good. We can build on that. You've actually got maximum players that are not good for this team at all. And the problem is, these players are not sellable. Like, you see us, Madueke, 50 million. You don't have that type of a player that is attractive to other clubs. Do you mean? And we've added, Chelsea Football Club has added more mess to you guys by sending Jadon Sancho back. And now Sancho don't have a market either. Do you know what I mean? So, bro, look, man, your ownership is, I don't know, bro. Like, I know. Big problems, bro. Big problems, man. You can't get rid of players. You can't bring in players. My days, bro. If you don't have a good preseason, like, I think you guys are going to be in for a shock.
Where do you lot think United will finish next season, regardless of, like, if they get the signings that they do get? Like, where do you see it?
It's very tough. It's very tough, because I look at the Premier League next season being a very different Premier League. We're looking around at a lot of the mid-table teams last year, the Brentfords, the Wolves, the Crystal Palaces, the Bournemouths. A lot of these teams had very good players. There's some top-class players in them. And as we've seen, loads of their players, these teams have been picked apart. A lot of these teams have been picked apart now. Bournemouth have lost 3 of their best players, all at the back. So they're having to rebuild their whole back line. They're not going to look the same. Brentford lost Thomas Frank, lost their whole coaching staff, as well as potentially Mbeumo. They've lost Norgard. Maybe Vissa too. Then you look again, Crystal Palace. Like, a lot of these smaller teams are being picked apart. So I think the gap between the bigger teams and the smaller teams is going to widen again. I can see the Man United taking advantage of that and taking a step forward. But then again, have Man United take the step forward enough to compete with Aston Villa, Newcastle, and those types of teams? Because those teams are very well placed with a few more signings that they're pushing again into the top 4. So that's the place of where I'm struggling to see where Tottenham and Man United are going to land at the moment, because we both need to take a big step forward, but also we need to try and keep up with the rivals, because the rivals were already ahead of us. So they already got themselves in a good position. So when you talk about where we're going to finish, it's like, I'd say Man United and Tottenham are going to be above 8th, but I don't know where that is. But I just say 8th would be the lowest either of these teams, or either of the traditional top 6 will finish. I can't see any of us finishing below 8th next season.
I agree with George. See, at least with Spurs, as I said, like, they've got a base sort of players that are still good. I know last season they didn't do well, but you can look at that entire squad and go, yeah, that's a good player, that's a good player, that's a good player, that's a good player. Yeah, you can build around that. Oh, now they're adding Kudus, now they're adding this and that. Okay, it's starting to. Whereas I look at Man United team, that's not a good player, that's not a good player, that's not a good player. Yeah, these are not good players. Okay, maybe that might be a maybe. There's very few that you can say are actually good under Amorim's system. So the renovation, the redesigning that you're going to have to do is a mammoth task. So I'm not sure whether you can even make 8th the way you're moving. This is why I thought Man United owners would be aggressive early. Like, do you know what I mean? Let's get those players in. Let's get the players out. Like, because you have to save your face. Like, Man United is. We're talking about Man United like the way we talk about Sunderland or Southampton or one of those. That, like, this is Man United. Like, I grew up seeing Man United competing at the highest level at all fronts, and now they can't even talk to Crystal Palace. Do you know what I mean? Like, so look, 8th. I think George is being very, very kind. But if you're moving the way you're moving, bro, you're looking at similar sort of positions again, man. 12th, 13th, and
but don't you think is like their biggest problem last year was scoring goals? If you add in Mbeumo and Cunha, your team takes leaps and bounds for just those two players. For me, like, you're looking at an extra 30 goals in the league, and that's not between just created wise, just goals and assists. Those two are going to at least contribute an extra 30. So I'm looking at them like they're definitely going to jump from 15th to at least into that top 10, and probably that top 10
at least, maybe creep in a little bit.
I hear that, but they haven't signed Mbeumo yet. So we can hypothesize that, but unless and until I see this guy hold Man United jersey, this guy could be anywhere else.
Bro, you know we've been built with a De Jong. We've been built with a De Jong situation, man. Because I remember David Ornstein said we had an agreement reached.
Yes.
I can't believe that, like David Ornstein said it. And he hasn't even said anything remotely. He's talked about Amazon. He's talked about everything else apart from that. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be involved, And I think it's with De Jong, at least De Jong was a top player, man. Like, no respect to Mbeumo. He's a good player, but he don't deserve a saga like this. You know what I mean, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Get this deal wrapped up and ready, man. Like, I'm even looking at teams like Sunderland, bro. Like, Sunderland, look at what Sunderland have done this summer, man. Obviously, they bought Lefty last in January. Sadiki, Diarra, Selby, Ronaldo, and Adingra, bro. They're moving mad,
Wow.
They're looking to be the first team that stay up in a long while, because I don't know how many teams have stayed.
They're going to be pissed at AFCON, though. No, I'm just seeing bare AFCON players. It seems like everyone's
a lot of African
1 month, bro.
Oh my days!
I'm just looking. I'm seeing. Wait, Adingra African, Ronaldo African, Talbi African, Diarra African, Sadiki African. Like, these guys are pissed when it comes to AFCON time next year, bro. Like,
they didn't think that one through. I can't lie to you. You know what I mean? It's like, yo. And then some of guys, there's some of us, instead of saying, like, yo, man, you know what I mean? Because obviously some places will be like, yo, man, go back to where you came from. Nah, bring them back from Africa, mate. Bring them back from Africa.
As they're going to say in March. Bring them back. We need them home.
We need them home, man.
Do you know what? We always talk about the AFCON and how it can disrupt some of these teams. But sometimes when you look at the scheduling, it seems like the teams only miss out on them like 2 matches maximum or 3 matches or something like that. And then some of these nations, if they get eliminated early, well, they're back with you early. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that could be the possibility as well, man. But Saeed, that Sunderland, bro, you guys need to match up. You guys need to match up to Sunderland, bro.
Brother, it's crazy, man. You know what? I remember QPR, they did that as well. They bought a lot of players and they did. Did they stay up the first season or did they not stay up? I'm not sure.
Nottingham Forest did the same thing as well. I remember they came in and they just bought bare players.
Yeah. They brought 14 players in one window. 14 players. And obviously they ended up getting that PSR stuff the next year. And now they've patterned up. But that's a team who I actually think could really risk at falling quite heavily in the Premier League next year. It's Nottingham Forest. If performances don't maintain. Obviously, last year they played,
and they got Europe, by the way. And they got Europe, I think,
and they could be playing Europa League still. That's the thing. They could be, if that's Europa League instead of Conference League, that's gonna mash up their whole Premier League schedule, because That's all right. They're going to want to play their first team in Europa League to put themselves a good foot forward in that competition. But then coming to the weekend, you know, the Thursday, Sunday killed us and kills other teams that are at a much better squad level. When you got a Thursday, Sunday and you're Nottingham Forest, you're going to be feeling it. Nottingham Forest could fall. I could see them falling to 12th, 13th or something like that next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is some of the spending summer. Obviously, Tottenham could go a little bit above there, obviously with Kudus and whatnot. But yeah, apart from that, like I said to you, man, not a lot of people have spent a lot of money so far. You know?
Early in the window, man.
Early in the window. But like I said, this should go up. Chelsea at the top, living comfortably there. Liverpool, Man City done their job. Sunderland in the fourth, man. You know, it's
12 arrivals.
19, by the way, 19 arrivals. I don't think that's right now.
Nah, this can't be right. This can't be right. We didn't have 22 arrivals. No way.
No. They might be adding loans and whatnot involved.
Yeah, it must be return loans and stuff.
Just on Nottingham Forest, just quickly on Nottingham Forest, they're getting two. I think, Saeed, you would have watched this on Club World Cup. They're getting two of the Botafogo players, and I'll watch a couple of their matches. Igor Jesus and
Jair Cunha.
Yeah, he's a good defender.
Yeah,
he's a very good defender. And
very
up front, and up front, the way Nottingham Forest kind of play with Chris Wood and whatnot, that Igor Jesus guy, I think he might bag a few. So
yeah, now we're looking forward to it, man. Listen, we're excited. We're here. We're ready. And listen, let's see what happens, man. Let's see if there's any bombers this weekend, man. Like I said, I'm waiting, man. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm waiting. Like, when's our time?
If Man United was smart, they would be seeing all the bombers going around. They would kick this off before the weekend, innit?
Like, I'm cool if you lot have had your fun and, you know, I come in and we just take off the fun. You know what I mean? This is not July. You know what I mean? But right now, it seems like we still not got no ticket yet. I need to get into the club. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I haven't got a ticket yet, bro. I'm just waiting outside the road, waiting to be let in. You know what I mean? And everyone else is just doing their thing, bro. So it's mad, man. But listen, people, we are going to wrap up here. It's been a very, very good show. Let's see how many likes we're on. We're still on 2.1K in the building, which is amazing numbers. Let's get to 800 likes, guys. We're on 678. It'll be amazing to really, really reach for 800 likes. I'm off to London. So I don't know if there's any news, I will be there. But apart from that, maybe tomorrow we'll be back with troops. So make sure you look out for that one. You know what I mean? And whatnot. Not that there's going to be any breaking news. I can't lie to you, but we'll see. We'll see, people. Miz, it's been a pleasure, man. Let them know where they can find you. Links in the description. Big up to you, man.
Big up, man. No, it's been a pleasure. It's been wonderful to talk to you and George as well. The other side of the coin, if you want to hear your daily dose of Chelsea news, then do so. I've got another channel called Miz TV Total Football where I do a little bit of banter and, you know, look at all the other clubs as well. Tune in.
Yeah, big up to you, man. And obviously, Durag Diaries. You know what I mean? We're going to be redirected to George. He's live right now after this, so make sure you tune in to George. Let them know, George, what you got coming up, man.
Yeah, man, Tottenham transfer news show, obviously, Kudus medical day, so we are celebrating things the right way. Wissa may be coming next. So just talking everything Tottenham transfers as we do, potentially some of the incomings and some outgoings that are going on. But big up to Saeed. Make sure you guys smash the likes. And yeah, man, big up to everyone in the chat for real. Yeah, man, big up to everyone. You know what I mean? Big up to the community, man. That's what it's about, man. We're just here to talk football. You know what I mean? Everyone's welcome here, even if you're Sunderland fans. You know what I mean? I might even get a Sunderland fan on. That's right now. I might even see if the Sunderland fan wants to come on because, brother, I can't look down on anyone right now. We are all together. You know what I mean? Like well and truly in the mud. Well and truly in the mud. Man. So right now, I need to be hearing an Mbumo bomber this weekend. Surely.